So hey everybody, welcome down to the channel. I'm Pat. So today I'm down in Chesthunt. We're in the King Valley region, and I'm actually at William Hottle Dam. You can see that just sort of a little further around. And today what I'm going to be doing is we're looking at doing some mapping of the King Rivers. Yeah, so I've got the drone here today, and I'm here with my dad. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be using the drone to do some 3D mapping and modeling of the rivers. And so the first one we're going to start with is this one behind me. It's the very first rapid. The river's at about 0.49, 0.45 or something like that, which is an alright level to do drone mapping. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. This one's not actually got a name. We're gonna start setting the drone up pretty soon, and yeah, it should be pretty interesting to see how it goes. Is now done. We're just walking back up to the car to go down to the next section. We're gonna go down to the Weir, and then we're gonna continue walking around from there. So we should be able to, yeah, hopefully it won't be too much of a slog of a walk, but yeah, it should be pretty cool. Alrighty, so we made our way down to the Weir. It is pretty low down here at the moment. It is about 0.8-ish on the gauge here. It's not 0.8 on the river, that's for sure. Yeah, interestingly, you can see that there's not much water coming down from through there. Usually that's a massive jet of water, but I wouldn't try that in my kayak today. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be heading down to the next set of rapids first. The next big one is called Corner Rapid, and then the next one after that is Cappucino, and we're going to see what we can find after that, because there's quite a few unnamed rapids that I'm not exactly sure where they are. They're also unnamed and unmarked. So we're going to do a bit of a walk down through here, see what we can find, and hopefully I can actually figure out where they are. Alrighty, so we're at the Corner Rapid here, and to be honest, I don't really think it's anything that's worth it. So I decided I'm actually not going to map this. I'm just going to leave it, and we're going to move on to Cappucino, which is the next one. Yeah, it's not worth my bother, but we are going to have to cross the river and try and get further down. So we're gonna get in on that. This river's so clear. You right there, Dad? Yeah. Right? Oh. I don't want to see any snakes today. Dad, I reckon we might be able to go through this section here, be able to cross through here. bit is really snaky. You look at that, that's easily traversable. Just have to be a little careful around sort of that bit just around there.
A few moments later.
I think that might be a better idea. This is quite difficult to get through here. Nah, I reckon I'm right here. So if I haven't got my phone too wet. All right. Just getting some glamorous shots of you.
Yeah, I can imagine.
All right, so after quite a bit of scrambling over through rocks and over Blackberry and going through some rivers, we are finally at what I thought was Cappucino, what is Cappucino on the map. However, this one here behind me is actually Corner Rapid. So whoever did the maps, unless someone's told me the wrong information, this isn't Cappucino, this is Corner Rapid. And yeah, anyway, so we're gonna map this one. Looks like a much better one to map, and then we'll go down a little further and try and see what we can do to find Cappucino. Yeah, it helps when if I plug things in. Yeah, all right, sweet.
20 minutes later.
Okay, I know. Woo! All right, now Corner Rapid is done. So we are now going further downstream to try and figure out where Cappucino is. And yeah, it's just a little bit more bush bashing, and hopefully we should be doing okay. A lot of hopefullys in this cheese. Oh, this is not fun going through this bit. Alrighty, so I've decided that I'm sick of bashing through the bush, and I'm just gonna wade through the water. We're almost at Cappucino now, so I should be able to just should just be able to get to it now. So anyway, I'm gonna try not to fall over. Whoa, fuck. You right there, Dad? Alright, cool. I'm not. I'm totally falling over and shit everywhere. Alright, so should be coming up to what I understand is the Cappucino Rapid. Had a little bit of a disappointment earlier, and yeah, this is the one. This is the one. This is the biggest rapid on the section. It when the water level's high, it gets to quite the monster. Especially on the right, you'll be able to see all the rocks and all that sort of stuff. Just gonna come over here right now. Yeah. Obviously, the best way to go down is to, if you're actually doing the rapid, is to go down that right chute and then come into that eddy. This section right here, so yeah, just down through there is that rock in particular can stuff you up if you're not careful. So well, most people actually, but yeah, so this is the Cappucino Rapid, and I guess I'm gonna get started to mapping. All right, time to get some cinematics. right, so now we're totally done. So now we're done with the Cappucino Rapid, and we're gonna decide. I've decided that, well, Dad and I have decided that we're gonna go over and get back to the car, have some lunch, drive over to the other section, which should be hopefully a little bit more accessible. I don't know where any of these other rapids are. None of them are marked, except apparently one that's called Last. Great name, by the way. Yeah, so this other one is yeah, I mean, like, none of the rapids are really named correctly or anything like that, so who knows what they actually should be. Yeah, let's just see what we can find, and we'll just go from there. Alrighty, so we made it, obviously, you know, we made it back to the car. We just stopped to have a spot of lunch, and yeah, look, we're not exactly sure where the rest of the rapids are because of one, the rapids on the map that I was using previously were already wrong, and two, these other rapids aren't even named, or yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what's happening with that. So what I'm going to do is, instead of doing a huge amount of bush bashing because it's already 2 o'clock, I am going to just send up the drone, and we can have a look to see what kind of looks like it might be a rapid, and then so I can come back down next time and check it out a little bit more. So yeah, let's get that drone up and roll it. Alright, so guys, we're back at the house. I got a haircut, so I think let's check out what this data looks like. Alright, so I got a map of the King River that I made here. It's got all the updated locations of all the rapids compared to the previous map that I was using. Yeah, so as I was going out into the bush, I noticed that there was a difference between what was actually on the Whitehorse map and what I was told was the different rapids on as I've been going down. So I've been going down the King River I've probably gone down about, 5 times now, and I think I have a pretty good idea of what each rapid actually looks like. But as I mentioned, the maps weren't really indicative of where they were on in the actual locations. So what I've done is I've updated the things to what I've put them in with my GPS data. So let's have a quick look at the Orthomosaics first. Okay, so first here we got Dam Rapid. I think it turned it out quite nicely, actually. It's got a little bit of blurriness around the rocks and that sort of stuff, particularly around here. I'm not exactly sure if it's, whether it was just bad pictures or whether it actually kind of looks like that. But yeah, you can see this is the main bit, where the main wave and sort of hole is there. And yeah, I thought it turned out quite nicely. So the next one along is, as I mentioned, this is where I said in the video that it was on the corner rapid on the map. But so obviously I didn't map that one. And so if we keep on going a little further, see, this one is what I reckon is corner rapid. This is what everyone's been telling me is corner rapid as we've been going down the river. Yeah, this one also turned out pretty nicely, actually. Yeah, obviously as soon as you start getting really deep in, it starts getting a bit more pixelated, and I think that has to do with the camera quality. We could end up removing that later as we as I improve with my gear. So yeah, next one along is Cappucino. This is the one that I probably spent the most time doing, and definitely took the most amount of photos with. It turned out, I think, a little bit better. You can see what's really cool is you can see all the little bits of water along through here, and you know, we've got a big range along through here. The lead up, as well as I tried to get a little bit of this end bit around here, because what happens is you come around, there's a couple of eddies around here, but you know, I was more worried about time and batteries and all that sort of stuff. So then final one, which is here. Now this rapid's not marked on the map, and I do recognize it. I mean, I've flipped on it before. It creates these really cool, like, sort of curly waves up through for what it looks like sort of in through here. Yeah, this one I kind of took the least amount of photos with. I had to do it quite sort of on the fly. I decided to just do it on the fly instead of going right in and taking all the, you know, walking right in, because looked like the bush bashing was going to be quite difficult. So yeah, I didn't really feel like doing that. So yeah, this one also turned out, yeah, pretty nicely. I can't really, you know, for the what we got for it, I thought I did a pretty decent job. Awesome. So let's go to the real meat of things, and let's check out the 3D models. Alrighty, so here we have the dam rapid. This is the rapid right by the bottom of the dam. So this is the 3D model. It turned out, I thought it actually turned out pretty nicely. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm really impressed with the way that it did the rocks. I think the rocks look really, really awesome. What you'll notice is that the vegetation looks really bad. That is pretty much something that is always going to happen with 3D models, because of the way the vegetation moves and that sort of thing. The photogrammetry really struggles to be able to pick out all of that. I've also put this little guy in here to try and put a little bit of scale on here. I reckon the scales, it seems about right. I'm still kind of tweaking with it, and I need to do a few more tests just to do a little bit more double checking on the scale. But for what I can tell so far, it's 1-to-1. Yeah, you can see sort of as it comes out, where there's like a bit of white water, sometimes there can be holes. So sometimes the photogrammetry just doesn't like that, and you can see sort of holes in here where it wasn't able to pick it. But in all, I thought it did quite a good job. So the next one we're going to is the corner rapid. And so I felt like the corner rapid was probably the least good out of all of them. You can see from here that it really didn't like this pool here. I reckon quite a bit of it was to do with there was quite a lot of white water, and you know, all this moving white water, the photogrammetry, the software wasn't able to pick up where sort of things were supposed to be and that sort of thing. And so I've noticed that quite a bit with water with ripples or anything like that. It really, really doesn't like it. So that was a bit disappointing. But I felt like everything else did pretty well. Looks like it did struggle a little bit with this wall here. There was like a big wall here, and there's a bit of vegetation over it. And I thought I was going to get something good out of that, and I didn't. It's just completely full of holes. So that's disappointing. But the rock face here, you can see the dude for scale. Yeah, all right, cool. So that's pretty good. So let's check out Cappucino Rapid. Now, obviously, I think Cappucino actually was the best one. This one, I took a lot of photos of this rock, so you can see sort of how well it did that. Shadow, it didn't like the shadows so much on that, but you know, what can you do? It wasn't it was a pretty sunny day, which isn't great for photogrammetry. It's much better if it's sort of more overcast. The real thing that we want to have a look at is these rocks, because this is sort of what we're really looking at in the rapids. And I felt like the rocks turned out really quite nicely. I reckon if I went down a little and it was a little bit lower, I reckon it would turn out even better, especially if I took more photos and sort of got more overlap on them, and that I think we'd get something really quite nice. And then one thing that came out, which I think is really, really cool, is this sort of this bowl here. And funnily enough, this is called Cappucino. And I just, obviously this bit's quite deep here. And so it's the photogrammetry's tried, well, the software's tried to show that. Yeah, it's just funny that it's called Cappuccino. It's got a bowl here. So cool. On to the last one, which was the one that was unmarked. Yeah, this one also turned out pretty nicely. I was actually pretty impressed with the way that it went. Yeah, the main thing that we're looking at is the rocks. Obviously, we got this dude right here for scale. Yeah, it was kind of difficult to tell because, like, what you can see is this particular rapid looks like it's got quite a lot of, like, sort of these sort of rocks that come out from underneath, and that's definitely what causes, like, the curls in the rapid. And so it did a pretty good job, but I think that it could have done better. Well, let's face it, I think if it was a lower level, it definitely would be much better to do. If I can get it at, say, if I can get it at, say, 0.3 or something like that, then I reckon we'd be able to get something that is far more definitive when it comes to what the rocks look like. Because at the moment, as you can tell from all the videos, all the 3D models, these bits, anything that has white water or has ripples in it really doesn't turn out particularly nicely. But anything with bare rock faces, like you look at that, see, that didn't do badly. Like I said, this probably had probably some of the least amount of photos actually. Maybe I didn't mention that earlier, but yeah, this one had probably some of the least amount of photos, and so it did all right. But with a little bit more photos and overlap, these rapids, I think, and also with a little bit less level, these rapids can be mapped really, really quite nicely. All right, so what I'm going to be doing with this is, as you can see, I'm making this with Unreal Engine. I am going to put up sort of a demo of the King River, and my plan is to eventually continue mapping all these lots of different rivers as it starts getting drier over here. We probably won't start getting the rivers will continue to drop probably up until late March. So that gives gives me a really good opportunity to try and get the rivers at their absolute lowest. And yeah, so that's going to be what's on the cards in the next few weeks. And so I'll put this up. This is going to be put up as a free demo for anyone to check out. And what I'm going to be doing in the future is, as more maps come up, I'll have a Patreon set up so that people can donate a certain amount of money and get access to all the updated maps as things go on. So yeah, if you liked kind of what's going on, I'll put a link for the Patreon down in the description, and hopefully I'll have this up as a demo within the next few weeks. I've got to do a bit of bug testing, and obviously it just kind of looks like, not great. So I might have to do a little bit of work to it to get it and get so that everybody can move. But so yeah, anyway, thanks everyone for coming down and checking out the whole thing. I hope you enjoyed everything and enjoyed the use of this kind of technology. If you liked it, please chuck a subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers, and if you liked it, smash that like button. And yeah, hope you all have a great rest of the week, and I'll check you some other time in the next one.